my name is Yvette Young, and I'm teaming up with Vox today to bring you a couple of mini lessons from my home. Before I really dive into what I'm going to be teaching, I think context is really important. I want to tell you a little bit about my artistic background. I come from a largely visual arts background. I studied painting and drawing in college, and because of that, my frame of reference for everything I create is always going to be the visual world. The overall theme of these lessons is starting simple and building up, and I would say that that's a great general summary of my creative process. Speaking of simple, the first step we're going to actually take is to go ahead and dial in an inspiring tone, and I'm going to do so on my Vox AC10, but you can do so with whatever amp you please. The second step is going to be coming up with a melodic sketch, and then building on that sketch to create what I like to call melodic black and white drawing, and then we're going to be using effects and maybe different techniques to add some color to that black and white drawing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. Let's set the scene. Before we even get to creating or writing, I wanted to talk about, as I mentioned earlier, dialing in a good clean tone. So it's so important to have a good clean base that you're actually inspired by. It's as important as having a good environment to create in, because if you're not inspired by what you hear, you're not going to want to play right. You're probably not even going to want to sit down with your instrument. I don't know about you, but there's been so many times where I've sat down to play something out of amp and I just wasn't feeling the tone, and then nothing flowed from me. I just felt uninspired. I felt dead. So today I'm mainly going to be talking about dialing in your dream tone with the amp. But you can also do so with other tone shaping tools such as an EQ or a compressor. So what I like to do when I get a new amp or even like a piece of gear like a pedal is I like to set everything to the middle, and then I like to tweak the knob. I like to max it out and then see what that does to the tone with my ear while I play, and then I like to go the opposite direction and see what that does to my tone as well. And I like to try different pickup settings as well to familiarize myself with really how it affects my guitar tone. So the controls I'm dealing with on the AC10 are gain, bass, treble, reverb, and volume. I usually like to start with reverb rolled all the way down so I can hear all the clarity and definition in what I'm playing and the tone I'm getting. And then I like to slowly introduce reverb back just to kind of round out the sound a bit. I like to play with the volume knob and see how it interacts with the gain knob because sometimes it can produce really cool results. I guess I'll just show you an example of how I would dial in a tone I like. It's important to remember that at the end of the day, it's all subjective, it's all preference, so things can change based off of what the song needs or what a certain part needs. And also, everyone's going to have different tastes as to what they want for their own playing. So you can trust what you read online and you can trust what you hear from other people, including myself today, but the most important thing to do is to trust your own ear and to just fidget around with stuff until you like what you hear.